Perfect. So now, I want to just encourage you just for a moment. What if I told you I was going to give you 1.7% of something? Think about that. 1.7%. If I had a pie up here and I was going to give you 1.7% of that pie, how much good would that do you? If I had a pizza, I'm going to give you 1.7% of my pizza. How hungry are you going to be when you leave? If I'm giving you 1.7% of my hamburger, that's not much more than a pickle off of my hamburger, right? Just a pinch off the patty, smell the mustard, that's all you get. You can't have any and just one pickle. That's about probably all you're going to get. 1.7%. Well, in the next 3 hours, you're going to get 1.7% of somebody's week.
That's good.
In the next 3 hours, you're going to get 1.7%, 168 hours in a week. And somebody's going to be here today, if they come for Sunday school and we go long, they're going to get 3 hours of Jesus Christ from this place today. What are we going to do with 1.7%? How important is it that when we come into this house, that we as heroes of faith and soldiers well armed be so filled with the power of the Holy Ghost? How am I going to make an impact in 168 hours for this person's life with only 1.7% of the time they're going to have for this week? The enemy, this world, the television, the influence of the day and age that we're in, all the spirits of distraction are going to have them for 165 hours. I'm only going to get them for 3. And you're a major part of that. Heroes of faith and soldiers well armed. In 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 5, it says, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. And there is a world full of Christianity out there doing that exact same thing. And we are inoculating saints against the power of God. Amen. When we bring them into church services and there's no move of the Spirit and there's no change in them and there's nothing to separate them from the world, when we come in and all we do is entertain, when we come in and we give them half-truths and part-truths and similitudes of truth, and we teach one thing but live another. Amen. We're doing nothing more than inoculating our people from a powerful move of God and actually being able to stand before Him and hear Him say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Our world is full of homes that call themselves Christian and is inoculating their children against true salvation because they profess one thing and live another. They say one thing and act a entirely different way. They bring their children to a church, raise them around a church, but they don't live the power of God that changed men's lives. It's an inoculation against the gospel. And here we are as heroes of faith and soldiers well armed. And those very homes, those very children, those very people are going to come inside this building, and there must be the power of God to change men's lives. If there's anything that's going to take that inoculation, that's inoculated them from Jesus Christ and make it go away, it's the presence of Jesus Christ Himself. Amen. We must be about 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2, 3, 4, 5. Preach the word. Be ready in season, out of season. Convince, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and teaching. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. Yep. Right. Listen now. But according to their own desires, because they have itching ears, they will heap for themselves teachers. And they will turn their ears away from the truth and be turned back to fables. But you watch in all things, endure affliction, do the work of the evangelist, and fulfill your ministry. That's who we are. That's what we're called to. We are the heroes of faith for this generation. You are the soldiers well armed of Bell's Chapel Assembly of God Church. And like Paul writing to Timothy here, I stand before you today and I declare to you, do the work of the evangelist, fulfill your ministry, be a hot fire for Jesus Christ, show them the power of godliness that changes men's lives. We've got them for 1.7%. We've got to show them a fire that consumes you in an instant. Yes. Amen. If we only get them for 1.7%. So let's circle up this morning. We're going to pray over this service.